Okay, now we're gonna steer away from Johnny to Johnny.
Yep.
Because dude, you also got to play this game Hob by
Hob.
Runic Studios.
Yeah. So Hob. Oh man, this is a beautiful, beautiful looking game. But before I get to that, so Runic is they've been known for a game called Torchlight and Torchlight 2. So they definitely are skilled and talented individuals.
I love how that's the emphasis though. You know, they made this game and they made the sequel, y'all.
Yeah, and a sequel. They made other games. You can look it up.
Okay.
But those are the prominent games, right? Because Diablo 3 came out, and right around the same time, either before or after Diablo 3, Torchlight 2 came out, and Diablo 3 got such backlash that Torchlight 2 actually a lot of people really enjoyed because of it. But Hob, it's very different from what those games were, which were like action RPG, hack and slash style games. Hob is an adventure game with some action elements in there and puzzle elements in there, but very heavy on the adventure aspect, where you're playing as, I don't know what this thing is. It's like a weird robot kid thing.
Well, he's got like mechanical appendages, right? So isn't that...
Well,
like make him some kind of cyborg?
Okay, so in this land that you're in, this very beautiful looking land.
Please. Yep. In a land.
In a land where you're playing as this kid in robot spirit thing.
In Johnny's words. In a land where you're playing as a robot spirit king.
Yes.
Kid thing.
There was this this corruptive tentacle weird poison land.
I've seen that anime.
Stuff.
Poison land.
Yeah, it's like this weird purple goo comes in and sort of corrupts the land around you, and it ends up taking out your arm.
Oh wow! Okay, so it starts off like you want a piece of this thing's ass because it's a Captain Ahab story.
Yes.
Yeah, so it takes out your arm, and there's also like this weird mechanical, sort of like a granite golem robot thing that is sort of with you along the way, and then they rescue you, and they give you, or this creature gives you its arm. So
damn, all right, that's friendship.
Yeah,
Adam, we tight. I'm not giving you an arm.
Well, is it a creature that can grow appendages back like the lizards can? You know what I mean? Because if like a lizard gets his tail taken and then gives it to me, I'm like, that's not the same thing.
Yeah, I can't even use a tail.
You know, so I don't trust this already.
Throughout the rest of the game, it doesn't have an arm, so it's missing its arm.
Gangster.
Yeah, so it gives you its arm.
Like, you missing an arm? I got you, son. Just take this one. It's like, that's the wrong arm.
You remember National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon? One with Emilio Estevez and Sam Jackson. He's like, grenade, and just rips his shoulder off and like hands it to the girl in that sex scene. Oh, it's so funny. Anyways,
so it gives you its arm in order to rescue you, and then you wake up and now you have this new arm, and this arm essentially gives you all of the mechanics sort of center around powering up your left arm that you've been provided by this stone golem creature thing. And so it's like it's presented as an isometric 3D game with platforming elements, and part of those platforming elements centers on your arm and how you utilize your arm. So there might be you have to enhance your arm in order to gain new aspects that allow you to better traverse the environment. So for example, you power up your left arm, one of the first ones you get, in order to smash through walls, or to smash through certain parts of the floor. Or you might get another power-up that allows you to sort of dash teleport across a long distance. So as you're going through the game, you're unlocking new abilities to power up your arm gauntlet thing that allows you to progress and solve more complex, but they're not really complex, but to solve more puzzles and to sort of work your way through the game as you are clearing this land of corruption. And that's essentially the ultimate goal.
All right, so then is it more along the lines of, because what I'm getting is you replace the arms and it helps you with the new challenges. That's more along the lines of like a Mega Man. But also the specific arms do specific things. Games like Bionic Commando have been doing this for years. What sets Hob apart from those then? Because it sounds like just another run-of-the-mill.
gameplay-wise, it isn't really doing anything new or interesting. The combat is sort of you get a sword too, so that's the other thing you get. So it's like slightly hack and slashy, but you have to sort of read the tells of the enemies. They telegraph it to you. You have a roll button to sort of dodge out of the way. You get a shield in order to block the attacks that are coming in. So you have to sort of manage and sort of assess the enemy that you're going up against, and whether you should block their attack or dodge through their attack and then break through their defenses, because some of them will also have shields or pieces of armor that you need to break away before you can actually deal damage to them. So the combat side of it, it's not something that you haven't seen before, but what you haven't seen before is sort of this world. The world and how you sort of traverse it and how you sort of cleanse the land and build up on the world via the puzzles that you're solving.
Cleanse the land doesn't sound promising.
That is the unique aspect of it, because everything else is really,
you do cleanse the land.
You do cleanse the land.
Of infidels.
Of
the non-purities?
Of the tentacles.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. So, yes, what different things it has that makes it truly unique? It's really the world that makes it unique. Gameplay-wise, there really isn't anything that you haven't seen before in other places. It sort of, cherry picks from a bunch of different areas. So the full collection of gameplay elements is going to make it somewhat unique, but for the most part, you've seen these elements implemented in other games. But the world is incredible. The way they have designed this world, man, it's as you are cleansing the land or solving a puzzle.
You got to find a different way to say that.
Yeah, you can't.
These land out there. so there's like these pieces to the land itself, and underneath them, it's almost like this major continent of gears and mechanisms that allow you to sort of tectonically shift the planes of the world up and down.
It's like Dark World, remember?
I know what you're talking about. Dark City.
Dark City, sorry, yeah Dark City.
That is a gangster power you have, though, if you can do that at will.
Well, you're not doing it. You're as you're going through the world, you're sort of activating these levers or activating these switches or pushing these gears into place in order to transform the world, in order to allow you to progress to the next particular
area. So you literally
area.
change the topography of your world there to get to certain points and places.
Yeah, so you're changing, it's exactly that. You're changing topography in order to reach new areas, and you can sort of see
that's cool.
into the distance these things, and as you're changing it, you'll see it happen right in front of you, and you'll see this landmass, and sometimes it gets a little bit aggressive in how the world is sort of transforming, where you'll
Why does that mountain look like it's giving me the finger?
Well, it'll go, a mountain will like essentially, it'll essentially like go from the caverns below and just like rocket to the top and sort of pass its sort of resting point, and then slam right back down to where it's going to be in a very like I don't know, like a thunderous kind of manner.
So be real. Playing this game, how many times did you like hit the switch, the landmass jumps up in the air, and then it comes back, you're like, oh, I'm going to reshape this, and then like splat, it squishes you?
It doesn't squish you.
No.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. But you
so
can.
He says.
You can fall off the top, and or fall from a high ledge, and if you do that, you'll go squishy.
It's like, I'm reshaping the world.
Whoa! And that is the crux of this game, is watching your character and
fall
sort of
off
playing
the world.
through.
I like it.
I want to see Dark City.
Not
again,
that, but like playing through it and sort of solving this world and sort of opening it up and seeing it sort of fit into into place by turning these gears, pulling these levers, and hitting these cranks and stuff like that. The combat it's all right. It's good combat. It's not like anything crazy fun. The puzzles are pretty simple, but they're not overly simple. They're not immediately obvious, but they're definitely not a challenge whatsoever. It's really a game that you're gonna go through and keep moving forward, and there is no head scratching moments. It's just something that it's like a nice trip. It's a very nice adventure that you're going to go through, and it's a spectacle the first time you're going through it. And you can see, in the video, you see the world start to transform.
And who's watching us on twitch.tv/The Geek Down, you can see visual of the gameplay.
It's like the Goonies of games.
The Goonies of games.
It's a nice little adventure.
Yeah, it's an adventure, and you keep going, and there's
there was
these
nothing nice
other
about the
little
Goonies,
creatures.
though.
Nah, man,
Right
that keyboard at the end was a little.
Yeah, that was frightening and gross.
That's some real implications to that.
Yeah, and they start off in this nasty restaurant. No patrons whatsoever.
Yeah.
Weirdo
plus,
dude
they were
eating
lucky
fish heads.
one of the dudes already set one of the booby traps and got killed, so that saved them from having to deal with that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
there was no,
they were hooked up.
Yeah, Johnny, you're telling us this is Goonies, the video game? Because I'm not jazzed about it all of a sudden. I'm taken aback.
There's no
Chester Copperpot can suck it.
There's no group of adventurers, so no.
All right. Oh, and you go through it alone, no less.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, just a quick side note, since you brought up the Goonies. Okay, now at the end of that movie,
I'll answer any Goonie questions.
The maid finds a bag full of diamonds and happily hands them over. Are you kidding me?
I don't know any. So this is not to be racist, but I don't know any Spanish maid.
I don't know any maid. I don't know any maid. Period. And for that matter, neither would I. Just like, I found this thing of jewels.
She prays to God when she finds them, too. She's like, no! Like, it strikes her heart, and then she, like, yells. And...
Like, hey, I found some jewels.
Especially...
Here, I'd be like, nope, sorry, your house is getting
Especially, they were so mean to her.
I quit.
Because, Ralph the Mouth just went up to her and said that they hide all the drugs in these drawers. Yeah. And, like, if you do a bad job, they're going to keep you in the attic with the cockroaches.
Yeah, Ralph was a dick. You don't help them,
So after being treated like that, she still gives them all the jewels at the end.
If anything, if I was her, on my way out, I would pay the Fratellis bail.
There is some holes to the Goonies that need to be talked about.
Exactly.
Especially the missing scene, because at the end of the movie, of course, they said the octopus was very scary. But in the movie, we actually don't see the octopus, but that is a hidden scene that was removed.
Okay, I thought that was just kids BSing.
No, there was an actual scene when they jump off at the end of when they get on the boat and on the ship, they jump off. There's an octopus fight. I think you can look it up on YouTube.
Wow.
Not that I should do that right now, but
no
you
kidding.
Can
so
look
it's Data in like his underwater robot suit fighting a giant squid.
Yes. Yeah,
why would they take that out? That sounds amazing.
Well, why would you take that out and then leave in the part where they reference it?
The real question is, we got so far off the game of Hob right now.
Really far off.
Okay, so tell us, Hob, thumbs up, thumbs down, because I'm getting kind of a conflicted review from you there. It sounds like it's good, but it has its faults.
It's good. It's a game that you're going to play through the first time, but you're never going to go back to it and play it again because there really isn't much there in the way of replay value.
How long is it?
It's actually pretty meaty. It's got to be at least 15 hours long. It's quite lengthy. I was actually pretty surprised at how lengthy it is. Well, it's also a $20 game. So you're not.
It's not like it's not the next Far Cry or something.
This is not. Yeah, it is not Far Cry. It is not like this big giant open world game. Although it is semi-open-ish, and you can sort of teleport from one part of the world to the other. And sometimes you do have to do a little bit of backtracking if you want to find extra elements to help level your character up and stuff like that, where you get additional power-ups that are hidden away. And you can only access them through newer abilities that you gain later on in the game. It has those types of things. It's not a game about that. It's very much a very linear, here's the next area that you're going to go to, explore that area. And you'll have a good time while doing it. It's available on 2 platforms, on PS4 and PC. And I recommend getting it on PC. And even then, there's a big problem with the frame rate on this game where it stutters a whole lot. I believe it has to do with how it's streaming in content and pieces of the level in order to load. It could be other reasons, but I mean, my rig is it's a beast of a rig, and this game should not be stressing it as much. It shouldn't be having any frame rate issues, yet it does have hiccups. So there's stuttering that can happen, and from what I've read on the PS4, it's even worse, so I would recommend getting it on PC. It's not so bad that it's going to ruin your experience.
But it's going to be enough.
It'll be noticeable. It's definitely noticeable. But yeah, as I said, this is recommended. It's worth going through, especially for $20. And if you can wait until, some sort of sale and get it for cheaper than $20, absolutely get it. Just know that it's not going to be something that you'll be playing multiple times.
15 hours is a long time, though.
Yeah, 15 hours is a long time. If you're in the airport. Okay, so a solid thumbs up from just Johnny, and we should note we mentioned earlier, but this might very well be the last game from Runic. So if you were a fan of them, and
the hell with you,
and not just Torchlight, but the sequel. Sorry, just the emphasis on that. Check it out. It's in the same vein. It's in the spirit of.
You could tell from the art style that it's the same team that made Torchlight, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. It is a shame that the team had to close up shop because this.
I mean, I know all too well the pain and BSness of being in a game company that goes under.
Yeah.
I've got 3 game companies and 6 companies altogether under my belt that have gone under, so that's fun.
Maybe it's you at this point.
Oh, stop that! Stop that! Right.
I'm
thank
joking
you very much.
with you, brother.
This guy, the pain out of the pain.
Just drive that a little bit deeper in your ribs there.
All right, so now on that fun topic, we have another game to bring to you, dude.
Oh yeah.
Need for Speed
Am I the only one that
Playback.
didn't play a game this week?
I feel like you missed out, my friend, because they were in full effect.
I did. Sorry.
Yeah.